Morning, everybody. Heavenly day in the city. I've got a date with two angels today, so I'm whistling a merry tune. Oh, I'm so happy about the direction of the elections, and I see Biden, sinking into quicksand. I kept trying to drill one thing into you guys' heads. Ask yourself whenever you're confronted with an interesting, unusual phenomena like Biden and Hunter. Okay? Ask yourself, what does it mean? You think, well, everybody does it. No, nobody does it. What does it mean that images of underage Chinese girls being raped and tortured by Hunter Biden have been found on his hard drive? What does that mean? Okay, let's start talking about the implications. It means that these images were taken in Red China. Okay? How did he get there? How did Hunter get there? We know that. It means that they were taken by Hunter Biden when he was in the company of his father and joint venturer, Vice President Joe Biden, in Moscow. It means that the Vice President of the United States used his power, influence, to enable Hunter to do what he did. Now, you can go and visit China as a tourist. I don't recommend you try raping and torturing underage girls. I don't think that you'll get out of China alive if you do that. See, you've got to have, I mean, if your father's the vice president and China is trying to curry favor with him and ends up giving him $1.5 billion via his son to invest and earn the fees from. If that's a unique set of situations, a unique situation where you can arrange to rape and torture underage girls to your heart's content. Then we find out these things are coming out again every day. Something else is coming out. The last thing I heard was Hunter had raped his 14-year-old niece. Okay, well, I mean that's like a 20-year prison sentence. How did something like this get suppressed? Obviously, it had to be by her family working with the vice president of the United States. See, obviously, Joe had to know about this and had to be involved in hushing it up. Okay, now let your mind let it be free and associate with things. Well, one of the things that all this is I associate this with these phenomena is, I hear Joe Biden talking about things running up and down his legs and children touching his legs, and I see him sticking his nose in the back of women's hair and smelling it, and there's something wrong with the guy. I mean, it's obvious. It's right there on the surface. And you dig deeper, and it's just layer after layer of perversion and depravity. Okay? I have described the relationship between father and son as a perfect marriage of dementia and depravity. Okay? That's what we have here. Okay? Center stage. And you know, a big issue here is whether the American people are going to elect a president who will be an embarrassment. Okay, imagine him in a European capital, giving a speech with the eyes of the world, the media of the world, uh, honing in on him. He starts talking about things running up his leg, or he says that he loves being in Paris when he's really in Berlin. Come on, this is an embarrassment, unlike anything in American history. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen because I talked to Steve Bannon's nephew Roger this morning, and he told me that a dozen websites are going through the Hunter Biden hard drive emails. They're finding new things every day. So this is just like, you know, Chinese water torture or something. Every day it's going to come out, and it's going to hammer the joint ventures, Hunter and his father. I mean, these guys, no two men have ever been closer. I mean, they obtain, they work together to garner tens of millions of dollars in bribes. I don't know why they call it influence. It's bribery is what it is. It's a federal felony. And I talked about another implication of these tens of millions of dollars. And that is, they were not taxed. So you're going to elect a president, and more and more is going to come out about these millions, tens of millions, and people are going to start saying, well, wait a minute, why do I have to pay tax, and the vice president doesn't have to pay any tax? I mean, how could you get away with stuff like this? Well, I've said this from my first YouTube. American government at all levels is a vast criminal enterprise. That's how you get away with it. So are we gonna elect a known criminal, a person who, he would need 20 lives to serve all the life sentences he would get for all of the crimes he's committed? Joe Biden, we elect a president. I don't think so. I think he's going to crash and burn. We're already seeing the polls. They're fake polls to begin with, but they're showing that the race is very tight in some of the battleground states. I think this is. I am urging Bannon to come out with this merit material about the underage Chinese girls, and explain the necessary complicity of Joe Biden with these rapes and torturings. He had to be involved in this, protecting this. Had to know about it, he had to protect it, or Joe Biden wouldn't be alive today. I can assure you. It takes a long time for things to sink into people's heads, and then the fake news tries to confuse people. And there's even a psychologist online explaining why Joe Biden is not senile. Well, I did a YouTube about his statement. I'm a proud Democrat. He's giving a speech to an audience, a large audience, like 20, 30 people. And he's on TV, though. That's the biggie. He's on TV. So the world is tuned in. And he says, I'm a proud Democrat running for Senate. Okay? And he doesn't correct it. He just goes on and talks for another 20 minutes. See, that's different. That's not confusion. Oh, look, I get confused. I'm his age. I get confused. I make mistakes. I mistake myself, just like he does. I make gaffes. Okay? hear what I'm saying. I'm aware of what I'm saying. See? So if I were running for president of the United States right now, which I should be rather than before Biden, and I said, I'm a proud Republican running for the Senate, I would hear what I had said. I would immediately correct myself. Okay. He did not hear it. Why did he not hear it? He was being honest. He wasn't lying about running for the Senate. He was just a little bit mixed up about. He didn't know what world he was living in. He thought it was back 20 years ago when he was in the Senate. See, he was talking as a senator. He really did think that, and it did not ring a bell in his mind as it would a sane person, a healthy person. That's not true. I made a mistake. I'm a wool gathering here, and he would correct it. Don't confuse this statement with Barack Obama saying, according to my Muslim religion, okay? Because not only was Obama telling the truth, not only was he telling the truth, it was he being honest. It was in fact true. So that's where his heart was. He proved it in sending money to Iraq and fostering ISIS. He proved that he was a Muslim, and he proved it to us. So that's a totally different situation. He hears something, and it's true. It's true when he said it that he was a Muslim. See, so why should anything bells go off and say, wait a minute, I got to tell that's wrong. I got to explain that. I got to correct that. And then Mike Wallace, I think it was Mike Wallace, saved his candidacy for president by a couple sentences later. He says, Senator, don't you mean according to your Christian religion? And then Obama corrects him. So that's not the same thing as running for president and telling a campaign rally that you are running for the Senate and not correcting it. It's not the same thing. It's the opposite, okay? It's the opposite. Obama said it because it was true. He believed it. Biden said it because he was senile. He thought he was really running for Senate, and it was 20 years earlier. See the difference? It's totally different. Yeah, so I'm very, very optimistic now. I'm very optimistic about Trump's chances now. I always try to persuade my subscribers to take my writer's workshop. I've decided to expand the appeal of the workshop by giving people a writer's clinic. Okay. In other words, if you send your writing into me, I am going to tell you how you can improve it. I'm not going to try to teach you how to become Hemingway, right, anymore. I'm just going to try to help you improve your writing, which most people can stand to do. So if you need help, or if you would like to get higher grades on your essays, or just communicate better, take my workshop, and I will talk about the clinic in my next workshop. I'll talk about common mistakes people make, and how to write more compellingly and concisely, and so do that. Make sure you take my writer's workshop and clinic. Antonovich, there's a link, right? There's a link on my website. There's a link on this website to the workshop. So I always hear, I love to get comments. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you later, alligator.